To all those who think that if the United States stops supporting Israel, Israel will disappear. You live in dreamland. China and Russia hate Muslims more than the rest of the world. The only reason they support them is, the enemy of my enemy is my partner. If Israel is no longer the partner of the United States, China will support Israel in 5 seconds to get the Israeli inventions and Russia will join. Just so you understand. TikTok pushes the Palestinians not because they support them. They do it in order to separate Israel and the United States. That way they will be able to come to Israel and say that they will give Israel everything that the United States gave and more, and Israel will now give their inventions to China. Listen to what ChatGPT says. Question: where would China and America stand if China had supported Israel from the beginning and had accepted all Israeli inventions instead of the United States?
If China had supported Israel from the beginning and had accepted all Israeli inventions instead of the United States, the geopolitical and economic landscapes of both countries, as well as their relationships with Israel and other nations, would likely be significantly different. Here are some key points to consider. If China had supported Israel from the beginning and had accepted all Israeli inventions instead of the United States, the geopolitical and economic landscapes of both countries, as well as their relationships with Israel and other nations, would likely be significantly different. Here are some key points to consider. Geopolitical and diplomatic consequences. 1. China-Israel relations. Strategic partnership. China and Israel would likely have developed a strong strategic partnership, influencing regional dynamics in the Middle East and beyond. This partnership could have included military cooperation, joint ventures, and significant economic ties. Diplomatic influence. China's support for Israel could have altered its relationships with Middle Eastern countries, many of which are historically opposed to Israel. Balancing these relationships would have been a complex diplomatic challenge for China. 2. U.S.-Israel relations. Weaker alliance. The U.S. and Israel share a deep and multifaceted alliance, particularly in military and intelligence cooperation. If this alliance had been weaker, the U.S. might have had less influence in the Middle East. Middle Eastern policy. A weaker U.S.-Israel alliance might have led to different U.S. policies in the Middle East, potentially affecting its engagements in conflicts and its relationships with other regional powers. Military and defense implications. 1. China's military capabilities. Enhanced defense tech. Access to Israeli defense technologies, such as the Iron Dome missile defense system, advanced drone technology, and cybersecurity expertise, could have significantly enhanced China's military capabilities. Regional power projection. With advanced Israeli technology, China might have been better positioned to project power in the Asia-Pacific region and beyond. 2. U.S. military position. Potential gaps. Without Israeli innovations, the U.S. military might have faced challenges in certain areas, particularly in missile defense and cybersecurity. This could have impacted its global military strategy and operations. Broader implications. 1. Global technology landscape. Shift in innovation hub. The global innovation landscape might have shifted more towards China, with it becoming a more dominant player in the technology sector due to its integration of Israeli innovations. Intellectual property. The flow of intellectual property and high-tech knowledge would have seen different patterns, potentially impacting global tech giants and startup ecosystems differently. 2. Economic growth. China's economic rise. With the infusion of Israeli technology and innovation, China's economic rise might have been accelerated, potentially achieving higher growth rates and technological dominance earlier. U.S. economic challenges. The U.S. might have faced more economic challenges without Israeli tech contributions, potentially impacting its position as a global economic leader. Conclusion. The hypothetical scenario of China supporting Israel from the beginning and accepting all Israeli inventions instead of the United States would likely have led to a significant realignment in global technological, economic, and geopolitical dynamics. China's technological and military capabilities could have been considerably enhanced, potentially accelerating its rise as a global superpower. Meanwhile, the United States might have experienced slower technological advancement and faced more challenges in maintaining its global dominance. The intricate web of alliances and diplomatic relations in the Middle East and beyond would also have been profoundly impacted, leading to a different global order.
Question. Add Russia to Israel, China, and the United States, and where will the United States be today compared to where it is now?
Including Russia in the hypothetical scenario where China supports Israel from the beginning and accepts all Israeli inventions instead of the United States adds another layer of complexity to the geopolitical and economic landscape. Here's how the inclusion of Russia could influence the situation and where the United States might stand today in comparison to its current position. Technological and economic impacts. 1. China's technological and economic position. Enhanced innovation. With Israeli technological contributions, China would likely see significant advancements in its tech sector. This would boost its economy and position it as a leader in various high-tech fields. Economic growth. The integration of Israeli innovations could lead to accelerated economic growth, with China becoming a more formidable economic powerhouse sooner than in our current reality. 2. Russia's technological and economic position. Boost in defense technology. Russia, with access to Israeli defense technologies, would enhance its military capabilities, potentially altering the balance of power in Eastern Europe and the Middle East. Economic diversification. Russian industries, particularly in cybersecurity, agriculture, and medical technology, would benefit from Israeli innovations, potentially leading to a more diversified and robust economy. 3. U.S. technological and economic position. Slower innovation. Without Israeli technological input, the U.S. might experience slower growth in certain tech sectors. This could impact its global competitiveness, especially in cybersecurity and defense. Economic challenges. The U.S. could face economic challenges, with slower tech sector growth potentially impacting overall economic performance. Geopolitical and diplomatic consequences. 1. China-Israel-Russia relations. Strategic alliance. A strong strategic alliance between China, Israel, and Russia would significantly alter global geopolitics. This alliance could challenge U.S. influence in various regions, including the Middle East, Asia, and Eastern Europe. Middle East dynamics. With China and Russia both supporting Israel, the geopolitical dynamics in the Middle East would shift. Traditional alliances and enmities could be reconfigured, leading to new power structures. 2. U.S.-Israel relations. Weakened alliance. A weaker U.S.-Israel relationship would diminish U.S. influence in the Middle East. This could lead to less effective U.S. policies and strategies in the region. Diplomatic isolation. The U.S. might find itself more diplomatically isolated, with fewer reliable allies in key regions. 3. Global power balance. Shift towards Eurasia. The power balance could shift towards a Eurasian bloc dominated by China and Russia, with Israel as a key technological partner. This would challenge the existing global order dominated by the U.S. and its Western allies. Military and defense implications. 1. China's military capabilities. Enhanced defense. Access to Israeli defense technologies would significantly enhance China's military capabilities, improving its regional and global power projection. Strategic advantage. With advanced military technologies, China would gain a strategic advantage in the Asia-Pacific region, challenging U.S. military dominance. 2. Russia's military capabilities. Modernization. Russian military modernization would accelerate with Israeli technology, particularly in missile defense, cybersecurity, and advanced weaponry. Regional power. Russia would reinforce its status as a regional power in Eastern Europe and the Middle East, with enhanced capabilities to counter NATO and U.S. influence. 3. U.S. military position. Potential gaps. Without Israeli innovations, the U.S. military might face gaps in key areas such as missile defense and cybersecurity. This could impact its global military strategy. Increased defense spending. To compensate, the U.S. might need to increase defense spending and invest more heavily in domestic R&D to maintain its military edge. Broader implications. 1. Global technology landscape. Shift in innovation hub. with Israel contributing to Chinese and Russian technological advancements, the global innovation landscape could shift towards Eurasia, challenging Silicon Valley's dominance. Intellectual property flow. The flow of intellectual property and technology might see new patterns, with increased collaboration between Israeli, Chinese, and Russian tech sectors. 2. Economic growth and development. Eurasian economic rise. The economic rise of China and Russia, fueled by Israeli innovations, could lead to a more multipolar economic world, with the U.S. facing stronger competition. U.S. economic adjustments. The U.S. might need to adjust its economic strategies, focusing more on innovation and partnerships within its own sphere of influence to counterbalance the Eurasian bloc. Estimating how many years back American technology would move and how much money America would lose if China and Russia had supported Israel from the beginning and accepted all Israeli inventions requires considering several factors. These include the contributions of Israeli technology to the U.S. economy, military advancements, and the overall innovation ecosystem. Technological setback. 1. Technological timeline. Cybersecurity. Israel has been a significant contributor to advancements in cybersecurity. Without Israeli innovations, the U.S. might lag by approximately 5 to 10 years in this critical field. Military technology. Israeli defense technologies like the Iron Dome and UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle, innovations are pivotal. The U.S. could be 5 to 7 years behind in missile defense and drone technology. Medical technology. Israeli innovations in medical devices and biotechnology have also been substantial. This could set back U.S. advancements in these areas by about 3 to 5 years. Agricultural technology. Innovations such as drip irrigation, which originated in Israel, have had a global impact. The U.S. agricultural sector could be 3 to 5 years behind in adopting such efficient practices. 2. Overall impact. High-tech industry. The U.S. high-tech industry might overall experience a setback of around 5 years without the contributions of Israeli technology. This includes fields like artificial intelligence, semiconductor technology, and communications. Economic impact. 1. Direct contributions. Venture capital and startups. Many Israeli startups have been acquired by American companies, leading to significant value creation. The absence of these acquisitions could lead to a direct economic loss. For instance, between 1998 and 2017, Israeli exits, IPOs and acquisitions, contributed over $70 billion to the global economy, much of which benefited the U.S. Without these, the U.S. could have missed out on tens of billions of dollars in economic activity. Trade and joint ventures. The economic value from trade and joint ventures between the U.S. and Israel, particularly in technology, is substantial. This could amount to a loss of several $billion annually. 2. Broader economic losses. Innovation ecosystem. The lack of Israeli technological input could slow down the overall innovation ecosystem in the U.S., impacting its competitiveness. This could translate into a broader economic loss. Considering that the U.S. technology sector contributes significantly to GDP, the cumulative impact over several decades could be in the range of hundreds of billions of dollars. Military spending. To compensate for the lack of advanced Israeli military technology, the U.S. might have needed to increase its defense spending significantly. This additional expenditure could have ranged from $10 billion to $50 billion over a decade, depending on the technologies in question. Quantifying the impact. 1. Years behind in technology. Overall estimate, the U.S. would likely be approximately 5 years behind in key technological areas, with specific sectors like cybersecurity and military technology potentially being more affected. 2. Economic loss. Direct economic loss. Without Israeli technological contributions, the U.S. might have lost around $100 billion to $200 billion over the past few decades in terms of direct economic benefits from startups, acquisitions, and joint ventures. Indirect economic loss. The broader impact on the U.S. economy, including slower innovation and increased defense spending, could push the total economic loss to upwards of $300 billion to $500 billion over several decades. If China and Russia had supported Israel from the beginning and accepted all Israeli inventions instead of the United States, the global power dynamics between Russia, China, and the United States would differ significantly from what exists today. Here's how the balance of power might be altered. Technological and economic differences. 1. China. Technological advancement. China would likely be a more dominant technological power. With Israeli innovations in cybersecurity, medical technology, military technology, and high-tech industries, China would have advanced more rapidly. Economic growth. China's economic growth could have been faster and more sustainable, potentially surpassing the U.S. in various high-tech sectors earlier. The integration of Israeli technologies could have bolstered China's position as the world's leading economy. 2. Russia. Military capabilities. With access to Israeli defense technologies, Russia would significantly enhance its military capabilities. This would alter the balance of power in Europe and the Middle East, making Russia a more formidable military power. Economic diversification. Russia's economy, traditionally reliant on natural resources, could have diversified more effectively with Israeli technologies, particularly in agriculture and high-tech industries. This diversification would lead to a more resilient and robust economy. 3. United States. Technological lag. Without Israeli technological contributions, the U.S. might lag behind in cybersecurity, defense technologies, and certain high-tech industries. This could result in a technological gap of approximately 5 to 10 years in critical sectors. Economic impact. The U.S. would face significant economic challenges, including slower growth in its high-tech sector and increased defense spending to compensate for the lack of Israeli innovations. The overall economic loss could be substantial, potentially reaching hundreds of billions of dollars over several decades. Geopolitical and diplomatic differences. 1. China-Israel-Russia alliance. Strategic partnership. A strong alliance between China, Israel, and Russia would shift global power dynamics. This bloc would challenge U.S. influence in key regions, including the Middle East, Asia, and Eastern Europe. Middle Eastern influence. With China and Russia supporting Israel, the Middle Eastern geopolitical landscape would change. Traditional alliances and power structures would be reconfigured, potentially reducing U.S. influence in the region. 2. U.S.-Israel relationship. Weaker alliance. The historically strong U.S.-Israel alliance would be weaker or non-existent. This would diminish U.S. influence in the Middle East and impact its ability to shape regional policies and conflicts. Diplomatic isolation. The U.S. might experience increased diplomatic isolation, with fewer reliable allies in critical regions, impacting its global strategic interests. Military and defense differences. 1. China. Enhanced military. With Israeli defense technologies, China would significantly boost its military capabilities, particularly in missile defense, UAVs, and cybersecurity. This would enhance China's regional and global power projection. Strategic advantage. China would gain a strategic advantage in the Asia-Pacific region, challenging U.S. military dominance and potentially altering the balance of power in the region. 2. Russia. Modernized military. Israeli military technologies would enable Russia to modernize its armed forces more effectively, reinforcing its status as a regional power in Eastern Europe and the Middle East. Increased influence. With enhanced military capabilities, Russia would be better positioned to counter NATO and U.S. influence, potentially leading to a more multipolar world. 3. United States. Military gaps. Without Israeli innovations, the U.S. military might face critical gaps in areas such as missile defense and cybersecurity. This could impact its ability to project power globally and maintain its military superiority. Increased defense spending. To compensate for the technological lag, the U.S. would need to increase its defense spending significantly, impacting its economic resources and overall military strategy. Global power balance. 1. Shift towards Eurasia. Eurasian bloc. The strategic partnership between China, Russia, and Israel would create a powerful Eurasian bloc. This would challenge the existing global order dominated by the U.S. and its Western allies. Multipolar world. the world would likely be more multipolar, with significant power centers in North America, Eurasia, and potentially other regions aligning with these major blocs. 2. Economic and technological leadership. China's dominance. China would be in a stronger position to become the world's leading economy in technological power, surpassing the US earlier than in our current reality. US position. The US would remain a major power but might struggle to maintain its leadership position without the technological and economic benefits derived from its historical partnership with Israel. If Israel, Russia, and China had formed a strong technological and strategic alliance from the beginning, the global technological landscape would be dramatically different. The combined strengths of these nations could have a profound impact on technological leadership. Here's a detailed analysis of how this hypothetical scenario might unfold and who would be the world leader in technology between this alliance and the United States. Technological capabilities of the alliance. 1. Israel. Innovation and startups. Israel's innovation ecosystem, characterized by its prolific startup culture and cutting-edge developments in cybersecurity, medical technology, and defense, would be a major asset. Defense technology. Advanced technologies such as the Iron Dome, UAVs, and sophisticated cyber capabilities would enhance the alliance's defense tech sector. 2. Russia. Scientific research. Russia's strong foundation in scientific research, particularly in fields like space technology, nuclear energy, and military hardware, would complement the technological strengths of Israel and China. Military capabilities. Russia's advanced military technologies and industrial capacity would bolster the alliance's defense capabilities. 3. China. Technological advancement. China's rapid progress in areas like 5G, artificial intelligence, quantum computing, and e-commerce has positioned it as a leading technological power. Manufacturing and scale. China's vast manufacturing capabilities and ability to scale technological solutions quickly would be crucial for the alliance's global impact. Combined technological potential. 1. Synergy and innovation. Cross-collaboration. The combined R&D efforts, leveraging Israel's innovation, Russia's scientific expertise, and China's manufacturing prowess, could lead to accelerated technological advancements. Resource pooling. Pooling resources and knowledge from these three countries could result in breakthroughs across various high-tech fields, including defense, cybersecurity, biotechnology, and telecommunications. 2. Challenges. Economic and political factors. Economic constraints, political stability, and geopolitical tensions could pose significant challenges to the sustainability and effectiveness of this alliance. Integration and coordination. Effective integration and coordination of diverse technological approaches and strategies would be critical for success. Global technological leadership. 1. Comparison with the United States. United States. The U.S. remains a global leader in technology with strengths in software, semiconductors, AI, biotechnology, and defense. Silicon Valley, major research universities, and substantial venture capital funding are key advantages. Ecosystem and innovation. The U.S. has a well-established innovation ecosystem, characterized by strong intellectual property protections, a culture of entrepreneurship, and significant government and private sector R&D investments. 2. Potential of the alliance. Technological parity or superiority. The combined technological capabilities of Israel, Russia, and China could potentially match or even surpass those of the U.S. in several key areas, particularly if they successfully integrate their strengths and overcome political and economic hurdles. Areas of leadership. The alliance might lead in specific high-tech sectors like cybersecurity, quantum computing, defense technology, and space exploration, challenging U.S. dominance. Economic and political implications. 1. Economic growth. Enhanced growth. The combined technological advancements could spur significant economic growth within the alliance, enhancing their global economic standing. Market influence. With China's market size and manufacturing capabilities, the alliance could exert substantial influence on global technology markets and standards. 2. Geopolitical dynamics. Power shifts. The strategic alliance between Israel, Russia, and China would shift geopolitical dynamics, potentially leading to a new multipolar world order. Regional and global influence. The alliance would strengthen their influence in their respective regions and globally, challenging U.S. dominance and leading to new alliances and rivalries.
Question. According to all the calculations, if Israel, Russia, and China were together, what would be the position of the United States economy in the world compared to what it is today?
If Israel, Russia, and China had formed a strong technological and strategic alliance from the beginning, the global economic landscape would be substantially different. Here's a detailed analysis of how the United States economy might compare to its current position in this hypothetical scenario. Economic impact of the alliance. 1. Technological innovation and growth. Accelerated advancements. The combined technological prowess of Israel, Russia, and China would likely accelerate advancements in key industries, including cybersecurity, quantum computing, and defense. This could shift the innovation hub from the U.S. to this new alliance, affecting the U.S.'s competitive edge. Market share. The alliance could capture a significant share of global high-tech markets, reducing the dominance of U.S. companies in sectors such as semiconductors, software, and telecommunications. 2. Economic growth and investment. Economic growth. The alliance would likely see robust economic growth, driven by technological innovations and increased market influence. This could result in higher GDP growth rates for China, Russia, and Israel compared to current levels. Investment redirection. Global investment flows might shift towards the alliance, attracting venture capital, R&D funding, and multinational corporate investments that would otherwise go to the U.S. Comparative economic position of the United States. 1. GDP and global ranking. Relative decline. The U.S. might experience a relative decline in its global economic ranking. While it would still be a major economic power, the gap between the U.S. and the leading economies of the alliance could narrow significantly. Potential rankings. In this scenario, China might overtake the U.S. as the world's largest economy sooner than projected, with Russia and Israel enhancing their economic standings due to technological gains. 2. Sectoral impact. Technology sector. The U.S. technology sector would face increased competition, potentially leading to slower growth. Key areas like AI, cybersecurity, and defense technology might see reduced U.S. dominance. Military and defense. Increased defense spending to counterbalance the enhanced military capabilities of the alliance could strain U.S. economic resources, diverting funds from other critical areas like infrastructure and social programs. 3. Trade and global influence. Trade balances. The U.S. might face challenges in maintaining favorable trade balances, especially if the alliance becomes a leading exporter of high-tech products and innovations. Global influence. The shift in technological leadership could reduce U.S. influence in setting global standards, trade agreements, and international policies related to technology and innovation. Conclusion. In this hypothetical scenario where Israel, Russia, and China form a strong alliance, the United States economy would likely face significant challenges. The U.S. would see a relative decline in its global economic dominance, with China potentially overtaking it as the largest economy and the alliance capturing a larger share of high-tech markets. To mitigate these impacts, the U.S. would need to enhance its innovation ecosystem, strengthen global partnerships, and invest strategically in emerging technologies and sectors. While the U.S. would remain a major economic power, the global economic landscape would be more competitive and multipolar, with the Israel-Russia-China alliance posing a significant challenge to U.S. economic leadership.
Question. According to the situation today, what will happen in 2 generations if the United States stops supporting Israel and China becomes Israel's supporter?
If the United States were to stop supporting Israel and China became Israel's primary supporter, the geopolitical and economic landscape would undergo significant changes over the next 2 generations, approximately 50 years. Here's a detailed analysis of the potential consequences. Geopolitical and strategic implications. 1. Middle Eastern dynamics. Shifts in alliances. Israel's realignment with China would likely lead to shifts in Middle Eastern alliances. Traditional U.S. allies in the region might reassess their relationships and security dependencies. Regional stability. The power dynamics in the Middle East could change, potentially leading to increased instability as countries adjust to the new geopolitical reality. 2. U.S. influence in the Middle East. Reduced influence. The U.S. would lose a significant foothold in the Middle East, diminishing its ability to influence regional politics, security, and economic policies. Alliance reassessment. U.S. allies in the region, such as Saudi Arabia and Egypt, might seek to diversify their security partnerships, possibly turning to China or Russia for support. 3. China's role. Increased influence. China's influence in the Middle East would grow substantially, giving it greater leverage over regional politics and access to critical energy resources. Strategic partnerships. China could use its support for Israel to forge stronger ties with other Middle Eastern countries, potentially mediating conflicts and promoting its Belt and Road Initiative. Economic and technological implications. 1. Technological collaboration. China-Israel tech synergy. The collaboration between China and Israel could lead to significant technological advancements, leveraging Israel's innovation ecosystem and China's manufacturing and scaling capabilities. Innovation hubs. Israel might increasingly serve as a technological and innovation hub for Chinese companies, accelerating advancements in AI, cybersecurity, biotech, and other high-tech industries. 2. Economic shifts. Investment flows. Chinese investments in Israel would likely increase, boosting Israel's economy and technological sector. This could include significant funding for startups, infrastructure, and joint R&D projects. Trade dynamics. Israel's trade patterns might shift towards China and other Asian markets, reducing economic reliance on the U.S. and Europe. 3. U.S. economic impact. Loss of innovation. The U.S. could lose access to critical Israeli innovations, impacting sectors such as cybersecurity, defense, and medical technology. Increased competition. With China gaining access to Israeli technologies, U.S. companies would face stiffer competition in global markets, particularly in high-tech industries. Long-term strategic consequences. 1. Military and defense. Defense realignments. Israel might increasingly rely on Chinese military technology and support, reducing its dependence on U.S. military aid and equipment. Arms race. The shift could potentially trigger an arms race in the region, with U.S. allies seeking advanced technologies to counterbalance Israel's Chinese-backed military capabilities. 2. Global power dynamics. Bipolar world. The global power structure could become more bipolar, with the U.S. and its allies on one side and China, supported by countries like Israel and Russia, on the other. Multipolar tendencies. Alternatively, the world could move towards a more multipolar order, with multiple centers of power and influence, including a stronger European Union, a resurgent Russia, and an increasingly influential China. Sociopolitical implications. 1. Domestic repercussions in the U.S. Political debates. U.S. domestic politics could be deeply affected, with significant debates over foreign policy, defense spending, and the role of the U.S. in global affairs. Public opinion. American public opinion might shift towards a more isolationist or interventionist stance, depending on how these changes impact national security and economic interests. 2. Israel's internal dynamics. Economic growth. Israel's economy could experience robust growth due to increased Chinese investment and technological collaboration. Strategic autonomy. With diversified support, Israel might pursue a more independent foreign policy, balancing relations between China, the U.S., and other global powers. Conclusion. In 2 generations, the realignment of Israel with China, coupled with the U.S. withdrawing its support, would lead to substantial changes in the global geopolitical and economic landscape. The U.S. would face challenges in maintaining its influence in the Middle East and its leadership in global technology sectors. China, on the other hand, would gain significant strategic and economic advantages, potentially altering the balance of power. While the U.S. would remain a major global power, it would need to adapt to these changes by strengthening other alliances, investing in domestic innovation, and reconsidering its foreign policy strategies. The world could move towards a more competitive and multipolar order, with significant implications for global stability, economic growth, and technological progress.
Question: how much the American citizen would be harmed if Israeli technology did not reach America?
If Israeli technology did not reach America due to a shift in alliances and the cessation of U.S. support for Israel, American citizens could be impacted in several ways across various sectors. Here's a detailed analysis of the potential harm to American citizens. Technological and economic impact. 1. Loss of innovation. Cybersecurity. Israeli companies are leaders in cybersecurity technologies. Without access to these innovations, U.S. companies and government agencies might face increased vulnerabilities and potentially higher costs for securing networks and data. Medical technology. Israeli advancements in medical devices, diagnostics, and treatments have significantly contributed to healthcare. The absence of these innovations could slow the adoption of cutting-edge medical technologies, affecting healthcare quality and outcomes for American patients. High-tech sector. Israel's contributions to AI, semiconductor technology, and telecommunications have bolstered U.S. high-tech industries. The lack of these contributions could reduce the competitiveness of U.S. tech companies globally. 2. Economic consequences. Job market. Slower growth in high-tech sectors could impact job creation in these industries, leading to fewer high-paying jobs and potentially higher unemployment rates in tech hubs. Investment and startups. The U.S. benefits from Israeli startups and venture capital investments. Reduced collaboration could limit investment opportunities and slow the growth of innovative startups in the U.S. Consumer impact. 1. Healthcare costs and access. Medical innovations. American patients might experience delays in accessing new treatments and medical technologies developed in Israel, potentially leading to poorer health outcomes and higher healthcare costs. Pharmaceuticals and biotech. Israeli companies contribute to pharmaceutical and biotech advancements. Without these contributions, the development of new drugs and therapies in the U.S. could slow down, affecting patient care and treatment options. 2. Technology products and services. Consumer electronics. Innovations in consumer electronics, such as communication devices, could slow down, affecting the quality and variety of products available to consumers. Internet and cybersecurity. Increased cybersecurity vulnerabilities could lead to higher costs for internet security for businesses and individuals, potentially impacting online safety and data privacy. National security impact. 1. Defense technologies. Military capabilities. Israeli defense technologies, such as missile defense systems and UAVs, have enhanced U.S. military capabilities. Without these, the U.S. military might face increased costs and delays in maintaining its technological edge. Intelligence sharing. Israel and the U.S. share intelligence on cybersecurity threats and other national security issues. Reduced collaboration could impair the U.S.'s ability to respond to global security threats effectively. 2. Cybersecurity. National infrastructure. The absence of Israeli cybersecurity expertise could make critical U.S. infrastructure, such as power grids, financial systems, and government networks, more vulnerable to cyber attacks. Private sector. U.S. businesses might face increased risks of cyber attacks, leading to potential financial losses and reduced consumer trust. Long-term strategic impact. 1. Innovation ecosystem. R&D and collaboration. The U.S. innovation ecosystem benefits from collaboration with Israeli researchers and institutions. Reduced cooperation could slow down the pace of innovation and scientific discovery. Talent pool. Israeli talent, including entrepreneurs and researchers, contributes to the U.S. tech industry. A reduction in this talent pool could impact innovation and technological advancement. 2. Global competitiveness. Market leadership. The U.S. could lose its competitive edge in key high-tech industries to countries that benefit from Israeli innovations, such as China. This could affect global market leadership and economic dominance. Societal and cultural impact. 1. Innovation culture. Entrepreneurial spirit. Israeli entrepreneurial culture has influenced U.S. startups and innovation. A reduction in this cultural exchange could impact the dynamism and creativity of the U.S. tech ecosystem. Collaborative networks. the loss of collaborative networks between U.S. and Israeli businesses, universities, and research institutions could reduce opportunities for cross-cultural innovation and knowledge exchange. Conclusion: the absence of Israeli technology and innovation in the U.S. would have far-reaching consequences for American citizens. It would impact economic growth, job creation, healthcare quality, national security, and the overall pace of technological advancement. The U.S. would need to increase its domestic investment in R&D, strengthen other international partnerships, and adapt its innovation ecosystem to mitigate these impacts and maintain its global competitiveness.
Question: what percentage of the American economy in the last decade came from Israeli inventions?
Quantifying the exact percentage of the American economy attributable to Israeli inventions is challenging due to the complex and intertwined nature of global technological and economic ecosystems. However, we can highlight significant contributions and estimate their impact based on available data and examples from key sectors. Key contributions and sectors. 1. Cybersecurity. Israeli companies such as Check Point, CyberArk, and Palo Alto Networks have been leaders in cybersecurity. With the increasing importance of cybersecurity in protecting critical infrastructure and data, these companies' technologies have had substantial economic impact. 2. Medical technology. Israel has made significant advancements in medical devices, diagnostics, and treatments. Companies like Medtronic, which has significant operations in Israel, Given Imaging, pioneers of capsule endoscopy, and others contribute to the U.S. healthcare sector, which is a major part of the economy. 3. High-tech startups. Many Israeli startups have been acquired by U.S. companies or have set up operations in the U.S. ways, acquired by Google, Mobileye, acquired by Intel, and other tech startups have contributed to advancements in automotive technology, AI, and consumer applications. 4. Defense technology. Collaborations in defense technologies, including missile defense systems like Iron Dome, have not only enhanced U.S. defense capabilities but also spurred related industries. Estimating economic impact. Given the diverse nature of Israeli contributions, a precise percentage of the American economy derived from Israeli inventions is not straightforward. However, we can look at some key indicators to estimate their significance. 1. Foreign direct investment, FDI. According to the U.S. Department of Commerce, Israel is a significant source of FDI in the U.S., particularly in the technology sector. In 2020, Israel was among the top 20 sources of FDI, with a focus on high-tech industries. 2. High-tech exports and acquisitions. The U.S. high-tech sector is a major component of the economy, accounting for approximately 11.6% of U.S. GDP in 2020. Israeli technology plays a notable role within this sector. While direct contributions from Israeli inventions might represent a small fraction of this, the multiplier effect through innovation, job creation, and technological advancements can be significant. 3. Case studies and specific contributions. Waze's acquisition by Google for $1.1 billion and Mobileye's acquisition by Intel for $15.3 billion are notable examples. These acquisitions not only brought innovative technologies to the U.S. but also contributed to the tech ecosystem and economic growth through subsequent developments and applications. Rough estimate. If we conservatively estimate the contributions of Israeli technology to key sectors like cybersecurity, medical technology, and high-tech startups, we might infer that Israeli innovations contribute to a small but significant percentage of the U.S. economy. A rough estimate could place this contribution in the range of 1 to 2% of the U.S. GDP, considering direct and indirect impacts. Conclusion. While it is challenging to pinpoint the exact percentage of the American economy derived from Israeli inventions, their impact is undeniably significant in sectors critical to economic growth and technological advancement. The integration of Israeli innovations in cybersecurity, medical technology, high-tech startups, and defense technology underscores their importance to the U.S. economy, likely contributing a small but notable percentage of the GDP.
What is the number of Israeli inventions?
Quantifying the exact number of Israeli inventions is challenging due to the continuous and broad scope of innovation across various fields. However, Israel is often referred to as the startup nation due to its high number of startups and technological advancements relative to its population size. Here are some statistics and facts that highlight the extent of Israeli innovation. Key statistics and highlights. 1. Patent filings. Israel consistently ranks high in terms of patents filed per capita. According to the World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO, Israel is one of the top countries globally for patent applications per million inhabitants. 2. Number of startups. Israel has one of the highest numbers of startups per capita in the world. Estimates suggest that Israel has around 6,000 to 7,000 active startups, making it one of the leading nations in terms of startup density. 3. High-tech industry. Israel's high-tech industry is a significant contributor to its economy, with numerous innovations emerging from sectors like cybersecurity, biotechnology, medical devices, agritech, and clean energy. 4. Notable companies. Many Israeli companies are global leaders in their respective fields. Examples include Checkpoint Software Technologies, Cybersecurity, Teva Pharmaceutical Industries, Generic Drugs, and Mobileye, Automotive Technology. Examples of notable Israeli inventions. Drip irrigation revolutionized agriculture by improving water efficiency. USB flash drive changed the way data is stored and transferred. PillCam provided a non-invasive method to diagnose gastrointestinal disorders. Iron Dome enhanced defense capabilities by intercepting and destroying short-range rockets. Rewalk exoskeleton improved mobility for individuals with spinal cord injuries. Mobileye advanced driver assistance systems for vehicles. Orcam My Eye assistive technology for visually impaired individuals. Sectors with significant contributions. 1. Agriculture, innovations in irrigation, crop management, and food production. 2. Medicine, breakthroughs in medical devices, diagnostics, and treatments. 3. Cybersecurity, leading technologies to protect digital infrastructure. 4. Defense, advanced military technologies and defense systems. 5. Renewable energy, solutions for solar energy and energy efficiency. 6. Water management, technologies for desalination, purification, and conservation. Conclusion. While it's difficult to pinpoint the exact number of Israeli inventions, the nation's contributions are vast and impactful across various industries. Israel's culture of innovation, supported by strong research institutions, a vibrant startup ecosystem, and significant investment in R&D, continues to drive the development of new technologies and solutions that benefit the global community.
Since 1966, 13 Israelis have been awarded the Nobel Prize, the most honorable award in various fields including chemistry, economics, literature, and peace. Israel has more Nobel Prizes per capita than Germany, the United States, and France. It has more laureates, in real numbers, than India, China, and Spain. Israel is 11th in Nobel Prize per capita, just after the United Kingdom at 10th. If only scientific laureates are taken into account, Israel is 13th in Nobel Prize per capita. And now you understand why China wants to damage relations between the United States and Israel.